Hey guys, Scott here. I miss optimizing Elden Ring builds, and as Shadow of the Erdtree is rounding the corner, I just wanted to give a very quick rundown of what you should probably bring to your first playthrough to make the experience as smooth as possible. So first off, DLCs in FromSoft games are usually around endgame level in terms of difficulty, so I would recommend you are at least level 125 or roughly whatever level you were when you beat Elden Ring to begin with. Now the DLC does have its own scaling system, but it acts as a modifier to your already existing build. Without spoiling anything, you can collect items that both increase your damage and decrease your damage taken specifically only in the DLC, but your overall build and level still absolutely matters. Like, don't go into the DLC at level 30 and think you're going to be fighting level 30 enemies. You will have a very bad time. Next, make sure your flasks are fully upgraded with 14 total at plus 12 upgrade level. As much as I hate Factual Life, they do have a very detailed listing of every single golden seed and sacred tier in the game, so there's not really any excuse to not have your flasks fully upgraded. There are even more golden seeds than you can even use on one playthrough, so make sure you have all 14 flasks. Next, make sure your Flask of Wondrous Physic has all of the crystal tiers useful for your build. These tiers are extremely impactful for whatever type of build you use, from massive damage boost to extremely high damage negation. For example, if your build does primarily magic damage and uses intelligence, the Intelligence Knot and Magic Shrouding Cracked tier will increase your overall damage by an extremely noticeable amount. Next, make sure you have at least a few consumables or a spell that alleviates status buildups. We don't know what kind of fuck-ass swamps Miyazaki is going to put in the DLC, so it'd be nice if you had some boluses that reduce sleep buildup or death blight buildup, because I would not put it past him to put one of those types of swamps in the game. So have things that alleviate status effects, just at least have a few of them, you know? Next, build your defenses. This is an extremely important part of Elden Ring, and a lot of people neglect this. One of the biggest memes in the whole community is level your vigor, but the truth is vigor is only half of the puzzle. For example, who do you think is tankier here? This burly dude with the big great axe and the very heavy Crucible Knight armor, or this naked monstrosity? They both have 60 vigor, but the naked character is actually significantly tankier because I specifically and heavily built into defense. Armor is not as important as you'd think, but using talismans and buffs related to the enemies you are fighting does so much to mitigate damage. For example, the naked character here has used the Opaline Hard tier in his physic and has the Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman on. These two buffs alone grant me 35% damage reduction, which is more than most armors in the game by itself. I then ate some boiled crab, a consumable that only costs 600 runes and you can buy infinite of, and that puts me at 45% physical damage reduction while I'm naked. If I use all of these defensive layers while actually wearing armor, I have almost 70% damage reduction. This is when people start thinking you're incredibly overleveled when they see it, but no, I'm level 138. Pretty normal level to beat the game with. It's just all about building your defenses properly. That being said, absolutely still level vigor to 60. I'm just saying that there's so much more you can do past that. Also, do not use any Soar Seals like Marika's Soar Seal or Radagon's Soar Seal, or charms like the Sacred Scorpion Charm. At higher levels, these just increase the damage you take, and the damage increase you get from them doesn't justify how much more damage you will be taking, so they're just not really worth it in my opinion. Next, have at least one fully upgraded main weapon and one fully upgraded ranged weapon. Having your main weapon fully upgraded is kind of a no-brainer for endgame content, but a lot of people neglect having a long-range weapon. A simple bow or crossbow can literally neutralize entire encounters either by pulling enemies away from a pack or just outright killing them in places they're unable to get to, allowing you to cheese them from a distance. For casters, this becomes a lot easier because you don't need a ranged weapon. You can just chuck a comet or a lightning spear, but don't neglect having some ranged threat in some way. Finally, have Black Knife Tish fully upgraded in case a boss is too hard. She will just solo whatever it is for you. She's extremely balanced and is basically your I give up button. Other than that, have some upgrade materials so you can upgrade new weapons and stuff that you find. Have a couple of larval tiers ready so you can respec to a specific item that you find that looks really cool. And that should be it. Hopefully that will be enough to get you going through the DLC, and I wish you the best of luck.